any of the sounds that might come in that we don't want. And then we can get into our practice. So if you are, if you're new to the mindfulness sessions we're doing here, or if you've been here for a while, it makes no difference because we all start at the same place, honestly. And where I'm going to start today is we're kind of winding down the Craig Nielsen SCI&U kind of channel of mindfulness gatherings that we'll be having. We'll have probably, I think it's one more, Barry, is it this month? Wait a minute, 2 more. And then we're going to be switching over to my own personal channel, which won't make any difference to any of what happens here necessarily. But we may go into doing a little bit more longer practices. I'm not sure, but we'll see where that goes. But in any case, for now, we're on this channel, and this is where we've been joining. And wherever you kind of come in is exactly the right place, because mindfulness is one of those kind of things that you can pick it up anytime, anywhere. And the idea is that it's really accessible, especially for our group. So where I'm going to start today is where we've been kind of working with this little bit of a theme regarding equanimity. And equanimity is an interesting concept, and it's kind of a hard word even to say. Got to get your tongue around it, maybe after that first coffee or something. Equanimity essentially means the balance, really, of things. And that could be of many things. Of course, in nature, we see that all the time. Nature is consistently bringing things back into balance. But we also witness it in our bodies, because our bodies are actually always looking for homeostasis. So for instance, if I'm not comfortable, my body's going to speak to me, and it's going to say, find a way to get more balance, so you feel more less in a state of hyper alert, and more in a state of awareness and capacity to be in the moment. When our nervous system moves into that state of something's wrong, I got to fix it. Where am I? How am I? Even what am I? It starts to go into this very primitive brain area where we are kind of reduced, honestly, if you will, to the primitive aspects of our body, which will be all of the functions of the body, and the sort of higher order thinking, which comes with kind of more dedicated neural pathways, and pathways that have been able to be discerning and distinguish kind of the primitive brain from maybe the reality that you're in. In other words, I'm not my story, or I'm not this reaction, or I'm not this other thing. I'm actually in this moment breathing, and I'm fine. And the tiger in the room isn't really there. So what I'm alluding to is that this sort of hyperactive brain, or this brain that's always vigilant, is the primitive brain. And it needs to be, it had to be in the old days. And now it doesn't have to be so often. And so equanimity is essentially this place where we're balancing out that hyperactive brain with the different brain that's in the prefrontal cortex, which is the parasympathetic response that gives us the ability to relax, to have choice, to be able to witness things, to have a bit of space. And ideally, that space gives us more clarity, and it gives us the ability to see, oh, these are just thoughts. I'm not my thoughts. Oh, these are just feelings. I am my feelings, and I need to feel them, but I also can observe them and not, and notice that they're feelings. They're moving through my body, just like the weather moves through the planet daily and changes all the time. So too do our feelings, and so too do our thoughts. So getting kind of in a long way around back to equanimity, which is where I'm going to kind of bring us through the practice today, is I'm going to read you a quote from Tara Brach, who's one of the kind of the leading teachers of mindfulness. And she says about equanimity, if we want to bring our intelligence, our creativity, and love into our relationships and world, We need to be able to access an inner refuge of presence. This presence explores how we may be reacting from old stories, old emotions, maybe clinging on to the fears that we may have in the past or the future. And it allows us to pause and just take a moment to go, okay, these are all fine. They all are what they are. But in this moment, actually, I'm safe, I'm sound. And what's happening right now is I'm, breathing, I'm taking a glass of water, whatever. And these things are all okay, but they're right here. So it just gives us that capacity to be the witness. So that's what equanimity really helps us to do. And one of the ways that we'll be exploring that today is through the breath, because one of the ways that we can regulate our nervous system is through the breath. So we'll be doing that. So let's find a place now where we can really, to the best of our ability, observe a place of balance in our body. So whatever that might be for you. Sometimes, for me anyways, it means just kind of getting the sitting bones right underneath me, the ability to feel into my spine, and then to rest my arms kind of equally on my lap, my shoulders relaxed and kind of drooping, if you will, and even the jaw, which holds a lot of tension, just giving it an opportunity to stretch open and then relax. And we'll start just by doing a few shoulder rolls. So we'll bring the shoulders up towards the ears and press the upper arm bones back and then relax the shoulders down. And whether you're lying down or anything, you can do this, just relaxing, bringing the shoulders up, and then we're really allowing them to kind of drape down the back body like sort of dark velvet curtains. When you bring them up this time, inhale and just hold them there. And just hold your inhale. And then exhale and push the upper arm bones back toward the back of your chair, the base that you're sitting on. And then draw the elbows down. Do that again. Inhale. Hold them up past the ears if you can. Press the upper arm bones back. And then relax the arm bones and the elbows down. Shoulder blades will follow. Good. And then come into a nice resting place that's comfortable for you. Allow yourself to move into your inner landscape, whatever that may mean. Now, it may mean closing your eyes. It may mean looking downward at your hands on your lap, whatever that may look like or feel like for you. And then in this moment, we're going to just take 3 full, rich breaths. So as you breathe in, see if you can not raise the shoulders to breathe, and instead bring the breath into the lungs, broadening the collarbones, and then filling the belly, and then exhale, emptying the belly, and letting the breath come up and out. And we'll do that again. Inhale big, filling the belly, relaxing the shoulders, and then letting the shoulders droop even more on you exhale as the belly moves back towards the spine and empties completely. And repeating one last time, inhale, full rich breath. Shoulders can relax down on the exhale as you exhale, releasing the breath all the way out through the nostrils and even maybe visualizing it going out through the crown of the head. And with your eyes closed, allow yourself now to go back to your breath. And this time, bringing in a place of equanimity to the breathing. So whatever that may feel like to you. So if you can think about the breath being equal inhale to exhale, just like a metronome, that would be a good kind of image to perhaps bring in. Perhaps for you, it might be like the tides of the ocean or the waves of the ocean, the breath coming in and the breath moving out. And so just following your own breath for a moment or two and allowing yourself to move into your inner landscape at the same time as you do so. So your awareness is around your breath, around attempting to make it equal, inhale to exhale. And your awareness is also gently abiding in all that is that you notice. So you'll notice your thoughts, you'll notice maybe sensations, and you may even notice some emotions or kind of stories around those thoughts. And all is well. Just let all that comes in be, just like the landscape of the changing weather that kind of moves across the sky. Just like they're all moving clouds, really not attaching yourself to any one thought, and then always coming back to your breath. So when the mind gets kind of, agitated or whatever the feeling might be, notice the feeling. And if it is agitation, see where you can feel that in your body. See if you notice agitation, where you notice it. And as you notice it, befriend it. Just say hello. Go, oh, tight shoulders, that's agitation. Oh, okay, I'm here with you right now. And the beautiful thing about equanimity is there's no right or wrong. There's no need to make the agitation wrong. And there's no need to make the fact that you get kind of trailed off by a thought wrong. It's all awareness. And as we kind of train the brain and the mind to stay equal with what is and not have a reaction, then that gives us the capacity for more empowerment. So as you move through your practice, just gently with yourself, ever so gently coming back to your breath, coming back into this moment, this breath, and notice the feeling of your breath. Let's allow ourselves to bring a deep awareness into just the sensation of the simple act of breathing. And as we're making the breath equal, the attitude of equanimity can be abiding in the background as you notice just the sensation of the movement in and the movement out. And perhaps as you're noticing that sensation, you'll invite your own being, your own sensory body to relax at the exhales, to pause the thoughts just for a moment as you allow your awareness to be with your breath. And in this place of stillness, you drop your awareness into the space that you occupy behind your eyes, in your inner landscape. And you feel the breath moving through the nostrils. Perhaps you notice the vibration at the back of your throat. Perhaps you feel the breath moving into your lungs and the expansion. And on the exhale, allowing that sense of deepening, of gravity, of weight, of pause, and even relaxation. And cueing your body, saying it's okay to relax by allowing even the space at the outer corners of your eyes to soften. Cueing your body by imagining the whole flesh of your brow just gently kind of smoothing out so that you can take that kind of spacious quality up the brow, even toward your hairline. And as you're there, just relax your brain. Let it say pause. Give it the opportunity to be still, to pause, and even to retract physically a little bit away from the skull, just to relax and to release. And as the outer corners of your eyes soften, so too does the flesh inside your mouth just relaxes and it releases. And the tension in your jaw softens. And maybe you feel that kind of feeling of relaxing, just moving into your shoulders. And if you could be on the inside of your shoulders right now, what does it feel like? And if it feels a little bit hard or, solid, imagine that you can go from ice to water and from water to vapor, just with each exhale, just releasing into your shoulders, letting them droop even down the back. And often the mind gets kind of busy when it's not given a job to do. And so we're going to just count now. And we're going to work with that equanimous breath. So I invite you to, perhaps if you notice your inhale to the count of 2 or 4, and see if you can match your exhale to the count of the same. So whatever you count your inhale to be, and then count your exhale to be the same number. And work on bringing the breath into this beautiful equal rhythm. Inhale to exhale. Always allowing this idea of perfection to be released. This idea that you have to get it right to be released. And as you count your inhale and your exhale, you can also give your brain the idea that there's nothing to do here. It's okay to relax. I seek nothing, and my mind is bathed in equanimity. Counting inhale to exhale. Equal breathing. Like the night and the day, there's a constant movement of our being. of which we are part of the planets and all of the stars and the galaxies and the different things that make up this reality that we are in. They all seek the balance of equanimity. And so we can even just allow ourselves to relax into that incredible wisdom that is what we are. Equal inhale to equal exhale. I seek nothing. In this moment, I am at peace. Just allowing each moment to be distinct. Relaxing the space between your brows, allowing that soft, kind of velvety texture of awareness to smooth out the brow up to the hairline. Relaxing the brain just a bit away from the skull, releasing and relaxing. It's okay in this moment for thoughts to not be having to do. And as you relax that space at your brow and the outer corners of your eyes, allow yourself to, as we go back to the breath for a moment or two, just notice the movement of the breath at the back of the throat and tune into the vibration there. A very subtle vibration. And as you tune into that, softening the insides of your cheeks, just imagine a gentle grin. You don't need to even do a grin, but even imagining a smile upon your lips, or the feeling or the sensation of a gentle grin that you would pass to someone you love, or when you're doing something that you love, and just feeling that gentle grin kind of in the back of your throat, softening the cheeks and the jaw. And with that same quiet awareness, noticing that vibration of breath at the back of your throat, that feeling of the gentle grin, allow yourself to connect your brain to your heart by just being aware that at the back of the throat, as the breath comes and passes down the esophagus, there's this beautiful connection between the outer world and the inner world, which also could represent your brain and your heart. And then just bringing that very gentle smile that's upon your lips into your heart for the last few moments as we sit together. The heart is one of the most equanimous things that I can probably imagine in our bodies, consistently balancing out things. And it has a great capacity for compassion, for healing, and for accepting all that is. Just feeling into your own beautiful heart as we wind our way back down from our practice today, from our inner space toward the outer world, and just allowing a gentle transition by again becoming aware of your breath, becoming more tactile perhaps with your breath, feeling the full sensation of expansion on the inhale and contraction on the exhale, wherever you feel that in your body. And then just allowing for that sense of the expansion to again fill your heart with that smile. And the exhale to completely release and relax you before remembering where you are in your room, bringing the mind back into function and giving it the job right now just to simply feel and remember the shape of your body. And then remembering the room that you sit in, and see if your mind's eye can kind of visualize the space that you inhabit before you open your eyes and come back into the room. And for those of you that like to use a transition physically, you can rub your hands together and bring them onto your eye beds. And just let that deep, soft, beautiful, dark kind of depth really inhabit you fully before coming back into the room. So in our practice today, we were looking a lot at equanimity. It reminds me of this. I've been working a lot with a couple old patterns and beliefs, and that in my mind take over my thinking sometimes and my emotions. And it's just crazy how strong they can be sometimes. And so I've been working with this one. And one of my teachers has a great saying, which I'll pass on to you because I think it's kind of fun. And especially with things like when you're stuck in a belief, like I had this thing with my daughter. Anyway, long story short, what he says was, well, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? I'm like, okay. I'm going to think about that one for the next couple of weeks. So I'll leave that with you as we close. And certainly you're always welcome to open your mic or turn it on if you like and ask questions or comments. And yeah, and I can see your beautiful faces. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. So as we move forward this month, maybe we'll do a little survey next time. I'm curious how many of you would like to do an actual kind of training, more progressive kind of format as we move forward. So we'll see where we go, and maybe Barry and I can come up with something fun that we can get your participation in to get some ideas about what you'd like.
Yeah, just wanted to give, again, thank you everyone for joining us today. But unfortunately, there's only one more,
Oh,
which is on the 18th, because
that's right. That's
otherwise
right.
the next one would be in June, and
Yeah.
unfortunately we are only funded enough for this one last one in May. But like Mary-Jo said, we will eventually transfer over to her own YouTube channel, or whatever it may be, Facebook as well, on the same way that we've conducted our live streaming on multiple platforms. So we'll definitely keep you posted, and keep you in our mindfulness email group if that's what you would like to do. So please.
Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, we will. And thank you, Barry, for getting that really clear. So yeah, one more here and then we'll switch over. So hopefully we can all still practice together, because it really makes a difference, I find, having a group to practice with and having a regular practice. And on that note, you always can go to the YouTube channel and just turn it on and go through a practice yourself. So I encourage you to do that. It's super good. And like anything, if you go to the gym or you are wanting to learn a new language or you're training a puppy, it just takes a consistent amount of practice to get that old noggin working in the way that we want it to work, and not letting it pull us in every direction that it can. So I encourage you to think of practice as something that's is part of what we have to do in life. That's just part of how we learn. And certainly when we haven't done it for a while, those old dendrites and pathways, they get kind of grown over like the jungle. And so we want to clear all that old crap out of there and make pathways that are, they're open and clear, that have space, that have capacity for choice. And that's really the whole point of practicing. So keep it up. I encourage you, and I really celebrate that you do show up here. I really love seeing all of you. So thanks for coming, and we will see you again in 2 weeks, and then we'll set up probably a weekly practice. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. That would be nice to meet every week for a while again. So
thank you.
Should we send you our emails, Mary-Jo, that we're interested in continuing this, or?
That's a great question. Barry, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
So how would we do that? Would they send us an email, and then we would maybe make it somehow a link that would go out every week to them when we switch over to my channel?
I'm not 100% sure. I think what's best is for everyone to email us at SCI&U@utoronto.ca, and I will make a list for and I'll label it as Mary-Jo's Mindfulness, instead of it having affiliated with SCI&U.
Okay.
We're converting to just Mary-Jo's channel, if that sounds okay with the group, if that makes sense.
So Mary-Jo,
Yes.
with my vision, if I just email you,
that's fine.
can
I'll
you
give it to
again-
Barry. I'll send it on. Yeah,
Thank you.
for sure. Yeah. And anybody that has my email and wants to do it that way, that's totally fine too. So we'll make sure we get you all there.
Thank
Barry,
you.
you had a question? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we can just reply to the link that we have for today? Would that work?
I think so. But
It'll be a different link. It won't.
No, but the email that we got for today's reminder, if we hit reply for that email, will it go to you?
Yes, it will. Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you.
okay, that's great. So you got that option too. You can either reply to the mindfulness reminder that you get, or you can reply to me, and either way we'll get you on that list and
Thank you.
make sure that you get contacted. Thanks for asking.
It's okay.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thank you, everybody.